To watch the latest movie reviews and PR activities, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon. They inspire you, they entertain you, and you end up learning a ton even when you don't know it. And they are the teachers, Nicole Sparks. Welcome to People's Voice Season 4, Episode 4. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing great. And today's our guest is another inspirational lady who have achieved a lot in the field of teaching. I want to talk a lot with her and about her, but for that we have to wait for a few minutes until she is in the chat room. Meanwhile, let's chat one on one with each other. And as I always say, please put your questions, query in the comments and we will try to revert as much as possible. Hi Supun, hi Usha, hi Rahul. How are you all doing? Hi Banka. I believe our guest is in the chat room. Let's send her an invite. Please do a comment how you're finding season 4, if you have any other suggestions. And with that, our speaker is in the chat, in video chat. Hi Usha, how are you doing?
How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me over.
It's our pleasure. Usha, your voice is a bit low. Are you speaking so?
Is this okay? Can you hear me better?
Let me just check my volume. Yeah, it's all right. I think it should work.
Yeah, great.
Usha, before we get into our conversation about the teaching process, about your teaching experience, let me just quickly introduce you to our viewers. All right?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Usha Ramaswamy, Senior School Head of the Shri Ram Universal Hyderabad. She had taught English at the Shri Ram School Aravali for 14 years. Began her career with teaching English to middle school children and then taught secondary school kids as well. After giving birth to a baby boy, she did complete her B.Ed and eventually MA in English. With that, Usha, a warm welcome to People's Voice Season 4.
Thank you so much, Nasima. Thank you very much.
Usha, at the onset, let us discuss about your journey. If you can throw some light on your teaching experience, on your journey, that would be great.
Definitely, Nasima. I would like to say that I got into teaching much later in life. Initially, I trained to be a lawyer, and though I had got a scholarship from Delhi University to pursue my postgrad, I thought that was not my cup of tea, and I wanted to be a hotshot lawyer. A few years down that road, and with the birth of a child, I felt that maybe I wasn't cut out for it. So I decided to take a break. But sitting at home was also not my cup of tea. So I thought, why not join a profession that is supposedly easy? So that's the reason why I got into teaching, because I felt that it would be an easy profession. Once I got in, I realized that it's not an easy profession. It is not a profession, it's a calling. You have to be in love with the children. It has to be, teaching has to be your priority. And you can't teach unless until you love teaching. Teaching for me has meant learning, unlearning, relearning, and I relearn whatever I know. And that has given me absolute joy. And I am so glad that I am in this profession, teaching, touching lives, nurturing lives, shaping lives. So I'm very happy to be a teacher today.
Very well said, Usha. Very well said. I'm sure your students are equally happy to have you as their teacher. My next question was supposed to be the same thing because I have read in your bio you did BCom, then LLB, and then you have taken 360, complete 360 turn and got into a complete different profession of teaching. So, how that had happened, if you want to specifically elaborate your journey?
Well, I would like to say that as a corporate lawyer, I was spending long hours at my workplace, and somehow that did not appeal to me. I also found the world of law very dry and boring. Therefore, in order to find something where I was more involved with people, which was more alive, I decided that I could try my hand at teaching. And the love of the children, the camaraderie in the staff room, the
That's
joy
right.
at being able to transact something new, being able to kindle a fire in the students, I think that got me hooked, and there was no looking back after that. Never for a moment did I regret my decision to go into teaching, and never did I feel that, oh, how I wish I'd continued with law, because the love that uh, sorry, I think no, I'm not very clear. That's what somebody mentioned. I was mentioning the fact that every day my students have motivated me and have ensured that I continue in this particular field. In fact, 2 years ago, I took this bold decision to go gray. Okay. I had started graying very early in life, but I never had the courage to go gray. And my children told me, "Ma'am, you look so beautiful with your gray hair." This was when my hair was just growing out and it was looking absolutely ugly, but my students have been my support system every moment of the way, and they have been so appreciative, so supportive, that I think this is the right choice for me. That
Uh,
I'm good in the teaching profession.
I'm sure. And let me tell you, you look beautiful with this gray hair. It's the, it's the highlight of your look.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And as rightly said that being a teacher, it's not only a profession. You are molding life of people. So many. So I completely believe that it's just not a profession, it's a calling, as you mentioned in your answer. So I'm glad, and I'm sure students out there are glad that you became teacher and trying to help in their formative years.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Talking about transformation, molding life, I'm sure there will be some transformation in yourself as well as an individual in your personal life. So, just share some experience that how you were before teacher and how you transform after being a teacher.
Okay. I would like to say that maybe before turning into a teacher, I was someone who was quick to judge others, quick to form opinions about others, maybe not as patient as I am, and maybe not as articulate as I am today. By virtue of being in the teaching profession, by virtue of my interactions with children, my colleagues, and my parents, I realized that I have transformed suddenly, not suddenly, well, over a period of time, I have transformed into someone who can express her thoughts clearly, rephrase it over and over again so that what I am trying to communicate is clear to my children. And I have oodles of patience. I also realize that because I'm a teacher, there are many, many eyes looking at me constantly. They're monitoring me constantly and they're watching my every action. Therefore, if I say that you have to be conscious about the environment, it means first I have to be. I have to walk the talk. I have to lead by example. I have to say, do what I say or practice what I preach. So, coincidentally, I have been telling my children that you must read aloud from the newspaper for 20 minutes every day. Sounds easy, but till I started to do it, I did not realize that it can be a challenge. So now that I am doing it, I can very confidently tell my children, go ahead, do this. This is the way in order to improve your communication skills. This is the way to build a strong vocabulary base. So I think by virtue of being a teacher, I have learned to walk the talk so that my children feel influenced by whatever I am saying. So
Yes.
that has led to a great deal of transformation in me.
True. I mentioned in my opening quote that teachers are inspiration, entertainer, and we learn a lot, a ton, without even knowing it. And you have, you know, implemented that in your personal life, and everyone who are watching us will do realize that teachers are those kind of inspiration. Their action inspire us, whether it's their personal or what they are teaching. So yes, absolutely what you are saying, it's true. Teacher are someone who is inspired, and especially when they are doing the same thing what they are teaching. uh, Usha, teachers are someone, we always say that after our parents, our teachers are who will have a greater influence on our society. So, in your opinion, what you think? How much teachers are influencing the life of people around us? How much impact teachers have on our society, in your opinion?
Uh, I think teachers are one of the most critical elements of the society. And with the corona COVID virus coming in, all of us have suddenly realized that teachers are the ones who shape people, who mold people, who shape the society. It is we who are the constant factors in a child's life. We meet students every day for almost about 200 days of the year, and for about 6 to 8 hours the children are with us. Therefore we have immense power to shape lives, to mold them. For instance, if as a teacher I am interested in newspapers, you will find that all my students have this love for reading because of the way of the person who I am. Suppose a student meets a teacher who is who has a scientific bent of mind or has a logical bent of mind. You will suddenly find that student falls in love with these kind of subjects. You find
Absolutely.
find a student who has met a teacher who's artistically inclined. You will find that the children have taken to art. So I think as teachers, we are not merely teaching the subjects or the concepts that are there in the textbooks. We are not people who cover the syllabus. We are actually uncovering the syllabus. We are uncovering life for them, unfolding to the children the secrets that are there in a life. Can you just imagine the transformational power of a student who has been shaped by someone like Dr. Abdul Kalam, someone who has been exposed to the teachings of all these great thought leaders? What kind of a student they would turn out to be, and eventually what kind of members of the society they would turn out to be. So we are the ones who shape children. Actually, we shape the nations. If we are promoting environmental consciousness, there is no chance that our children don't imbibe those values. So we transfer the values that we believe in to our students, and therefore, by virtue of that, we shape lives. We touch lives, we mold lives. So I think teachers are immensely powerful people. I always tell my team of teachers that you are difference makers. You have immense power. Believe in yourself. Go ahead, transform lives.
Absolutely. I cannot say it in a better way the way you said it, that yes, a teacher has immense power to influence the life of people, to mold the life of children who are the future of our nation. So, yes, very well said. Kudos to you and all those teachers out there who are watching, who are teaching to our young kids, adults, to make our future better.
Thank you.
Uh, yeah, Usha, we have talked about your journey, your experience. Let's just talk about little weird things, the things which are funny. Any incident? I'm sure so many incidents must have happened in your life by interacting with kids. If you can share a one crazy, weird, or anything which is not normal with all of us, that would be great.
When you say crazy or weird experience, I think every incident where children have been involved have been very, very memorable. Uh, I have had children who have come up to me to ask me why I am doing a particular thing in a particular manner, or to question my beliefs in the classroom, to say, but ma'am, you said this the other day. So I mean, I did try. I am trying to think hard about any experience that would have been weird or crazy in the classroom, but I don't think I can recall any. However, I can tell you that my encounters with some of the parents have been quite out of this world, and Sometimes I wish I could tell them, listen, you trust us, we know what we are doing, and we can take care of the children. I think those kind of experiences have really stood out for me.
I don't mind if you want to share one or two liners that you remember from parents.
I had this parent who, especially during after when when Corona struck and we all had to go online. So I have this parent who said that, but ma'am, my child has been raising his or her hand. You only took so and so child's name, not my child's name. I wanted to say, hey, listen, I will take your child's name, but allow me to finish or transact the class. How do you expect that within the first 30 minutes I should take care of all the 30 children and give exactly 1 minute to every child? That's not how it works. But it did take some amount of convincing in order to convince parents that we know what we are doing. That those were challenges that we really faced. And on another occasion, a, a teacher went into the classroom. Suddenly a phone call came. Maybe she felt it was an emergency. She forgot to mute herself and took the call, and the parent captured that on video and sent out the video to us, that how is it that teachers are acting like this? And when we were like, aren't we humans? Aren't we humans? Why is it that we are being put under the scanner all the time? So those are some things that really stood out for me. When you say weird, that's the kind of weird that I can think of. But as far as children are concerned, they have always been very, very sweet. They have always been very accommodating. In fact, we all of us as teachers would not have been able to sail through the pandemic if it had not been for the support of our children. There were times when we couldn't handle technology, but our students said, hey ma'am, you can do this, try this, press this button, this is how you will be able to handle it. Our children have stood by us and have held our hands and have helped us to navigate the cyber world. So really grateful to our students who have taught us every day with the way they have managed corona and the virus.
True. When teachers are teaching kids, adults, at the same time they are also learning without knowing it. Maybe it's the how to be patient. Very the most important thing I believe teacher have to be patient whether talking to kids, their parents, and the incident when you come across crazy like you mentioned, you need to be patient. Patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it requires immense patience. I think this is one job where maybe you came with X amount of patience when you joined the profession, but at the end of it, you discover that you have become an ocean of patience by virtue of what all you have had to deal with and the way your children have connected with you. So I think it does teach you a lot.
True. Usha, we are almost towards the end, but before you leave, I want to ask the very last question. Your advice for those teachers who are suffering, struggling, going through a tough time during this COVID. Any positive thought for those teachers to cope up with this difficult time?
I think we have to think of every challenge as an opportunity, as a hidden opportunity. So anytime we face any difficulty, there is something that is positive that is definitely going to emerge from it. There is definitely going to be a silver lining. And I think the COVID coronavirus has been a time for all of us to learn a lot of things. We have, as teachers, we have evaluated our teaching practice. We have become more mindful. We have integrated technology. We have put children at the center of our practice. I think that has been of immense value. So my advice to teachers would be, remember what is it and who is it that you're working for. As long as your decisions are for the benefit of the child, as long as the child is at the center of your universe, you will always be moving forward. So when you're faced with a difficult situation, think about a child. When you don't know how to move forward, how to deal with the situation, think about the child. Your answers will automatically in front of you. You will get to know what is it that you need to know. So my advice would be, keep the child at the center of your thought so that you are able to deal with the problems. That's advice number one. Advice number two, always remember, whatever challenge you're facing, this too shall pass. It will go off soon. Number three, do not hesitate to seek help. Today, we have help easily available, whether it is the internet, whether it is collaborative groups that are available, whether it is your colleagues, everyone is ready to help. Even your children, the students in the classroom, they are ready to help. Ask for help and you shall get it. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. It takes a lot of courage to say I don't know, but once you say I don't know, you should know, but I'm ready to learn. As long as you go with that bent of mind, any difficulty is easy to overcome. So I always tell everyone, say I don't know, but say I'm ready to learn, and then go ahead and learn and then overcome that fear. I think that's something that is really, really helpful.
I so feel like applauding for that three advices that you have given. It's wonderful. It's not only for teachers, I believe, it's for all the people who are walking or who are living in this difficult time. I'm sure if we implement any of these three advice, we will be much more calmer, stressless, and will be in a better position to cope up with this time. With
Thank you.
that, thank you so much, Usha, for giving your precious time and having this enlightening conversation with people's voice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Have a good day. Bye bye.
So that was a fabulous conversation with lively Usha. I have enjoyed a lot and learned a lot talking to her, and I hope you all too. But before I sign off, just want to share a wise word from APJ Abdul Kalam: to become a beautiful minds nation, the only power, the immense power a societal member has are the mother, the father, and the teacher. They have the immense power to make a difference in our society. So do use your uh, extremely powerful power and enlighten our society. With that, signing off, Nasima Khan. Take care. Bye bye.